So we've just finished targeting the second scene with these buttons. I'd like you to finish creating the code for the other two buttons that you have here, and just be aware that you do need to make sure that you put the code at the frame label. That's why we have this other N2 right here. Actually, I should have probably made an actions layer, but you do need the code so it's instantiated at the same time that this button appears. So you can't put all of your code at the beginning to run all the buttons. You just have to make sure that you have the code for your Scene 4 button at the same time that that Scene 4 button exists. Anyway, I'd like you to go ahead and finish that for the other scenes, and then we're going to go on to targeting the movie clip that's underneath here. Now we're going to need to make a new pre-oop function, and we're going to do something that's very different with this afterward. But let's begin by creating that function by copying our existing code. So I'm going to go in and copy all of that code that I have for my last pre-oop jump to scene label. And this will be the pre-oop jump to car label. I'll call that just so we have a different thing there. And so let's call this jump to car label. Go to car label and let me copy that. And that will change that down there. So I've got go to car label, go to car label. And in this one we're going to do something a little bit different. We're going to have it jumping to a frame label, but we're going to have a button that goes to it. We're going to have a frame label to go to, and then we're also going to have the movie clip to go to. So it doesn't matter exactly what order I use, but I'm going to change it so that my first one is my target and then my label. And my target, of course, is going to be an object. So we're going to have the button that we click on. We're going to have what the target is that we're going to and what label on that target. Now we're going to change things around just a little bit so that we have my label as the argument for go to and stop. But we're going to be going to a label on my target. So my target dot go to and stop my label. And when we can worry about this again actually, because if we want to be able to use that, we'll use my target dot frame label dot text equals my target dot current label. So notice we can use that my target many times, because inside this particular movie clip you'll see that we have that frame label already there. So we're good to go on that. Let me go back to this action. Pin that script maybe. Make sure that it's there. Let's see, my button is sent over. So now all we really have to do once we've changed so we have the right variables being sent to our internal functions is we need to invoke this with the first one. So the first button that we're going to be clicking on is the, let's see, I guess that is called the what is it called? New York City button. So that's the very first one, but let's do location 1 button because it's already at New York City. So we'll click on the very first button here, location 1, to jump to that location, and that'll be a proof of concept that it works. Now we're going to be going to the car underscore MC, so car anim, there it is, underscore MC, and we're going to be jumping to the frame label called location 1. So let's see if that works. I click on that, and it does in fact jump me to that location, and I have location 1 working. So from this you should be able to make the rest of the buttons work. So you have New York City, location 1, location 2, location 3, and DC all working. Then we're going to go on to the next tutorial and do something a little bit special.